Hello, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a famous American philosopher called Karl Popper. Karl Popper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks like him.
He looks like him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about that. The arts?
Yeah, we're here actually to talk about the arts on Prince Edward Island, and I don't know. Do you think the community has grown? You know, it's funny, when I first came to the island, and I know it's ancient history, of course, but when I did come here and the School of Visual Arts was in existence, there seemed to be so many more people who were working in pottery or leather, woodworking with Bob Doddridge, who was a great craftsman. And that seems to have gone by the wayside, and the young people today who are interested in those fields, they almost have to go off island in order to be trained and to be, well,
yeah, they do.
Successful.
They do. They go to NASCAD, for instance. There was an interesting point. A young lady once was asking me some questions, and she had been to NASCAD or something, and said that you had to learn a style, to get a style, you know, and I said, for God's sake, you know, you just work as hard as you can, and, you know, you just do your best, you know. You can't go around trying to be businesslike about being an artist. You can't. I don't know. I mean, what happens is there's always a healthy alternative arts society or a group, and then they become the status quo, and then everybody, I don't know, grinds to a standstill, and then you get an alternative again. And that's what happens. It goes on in these ways.
It's true, you know. Sometimes I think that the people who get out there and who, it's like they say about history, that history is created by the people who write it. And sometimes I think that in terms of arts and what is accepted in the community as art is created by the people who would say, for instance, you know, I like John Burden and I like John's work, and you know, I don't see why we can't get him a show in the National Gallery. And those are the things.
That's good.
Yeah, John, I'll see what I can do for you on that one. I'll make a strong.
I'll make a phone call. Make a phone call. Yeah, that's cool.
Have you ever had a show in the National Gallery, or in? Well, you've had a show at the Convention Center, haven't you?
No, I haven't actually.
No.
I had a show in a tent once. It was quite a low tent, and people had to crawl through with a guy. Crispin Thomas. We had a show in a tent in Wales, and it was on TV quite recently. It was 30 years ago, but they put it back. They kept the archives and they put it back on, and I didn't see it, unfortunately.
I would love to get a copy of that.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
Oh, that would be great to put it onto our website.
Yeah, but it belongs to Welsh TV, so they might, you know.
Well, we could ask them if they would allow us to do that. You know.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it for profit. We'd just be doing it for the sheer pleasure of having people see your work 30 years ago and then 30 years later.
Yeah. And all the people going through, because it was a very low tent, you know, so everybody had to go through on their hands and knees to look at the pictures, you know. It was, it was the smallest gallery, I think, ever. Yes.
That must have been a very small tent. How many pieces of work did you have in that?
Well, there were little bits of work. Little pieces, little drawings and things. It was quite a small tent actually, and it was very muddy that day. It was raining, which it always rains in Wales anyway, and so everybody was crawling around in the mud. In fact, I think it was a conceptual art really, that we didn't know, but you know, it's quite conceptual in its way. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Kier, I don't know about art. You know, I think that we just, like you do when you paint, we just do our best, and we just paint our best, and that's all that matters, you know, really. You know, we tend to define skills as very obvious, definable things, like making a right foot like a right foot and blah blah. You know, but everybody's skills, and you know, you've been sort of defining your skills over a time, and you know, they're pretty far out, and they're totally related to your paintings. You know, and so skills are. It's not such an easily defined area. Skills, you know.
I would love to be able to be a portrait painter and do things like that.
You do paint portraits.
I've tried, but they're always come out so abstract.
Well, no, they capture something. That's what you're supposed to do. They capture stuff, you know. And I think that's the thing. You have to keep on trying to raise the bar, as somebody said. I think Paul Ness raised the bar. You know, we keep on trying to, and it's not. You have to. Part of it is to be dissatisfied. When we started this talking about Karl Popper actually said science has to be proven wrong. It has to be ready to be proven wrong. If it cannot be proven wrong, it's not science, it's belief, you know, or religion. And I think it's the same about art, you know, we've got to always be dissatisfied, we've got to always be trying to improve, we've got to always be struggling. And that's what makes it. It's like Rembrandt, you look at a Rembrandt painting, I really love it, but you know, there's struggle in it. The guy was always struggling.
Yeah.
Struggle is what it's all about.
Makes life worthwhile.
Yeah, and mistakes make
Oh,
life
yeah.
worthwhile. And
I continue to make them.
we got any good it's because we knew what it's like to be bad.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I don't know, I feel like that. I was bad, you know, and if I got any good in me now, it's because I was bad, quite frankly. If I'd never been bad, I wouldn't be much good.
That's right.
Let's get too deep. I forget that one.
Well, it was great having you here, John.
Yeah,
I
okay,
don't know,
thanks, yeah.
I don't even know if we got this last part, because we may have.
Goodbye, goodbye,
we may have. Thank you very much, Harry Pothead, for being here with us.
Yes,
helping us through this
and
difficult
ventriloquism, you know, all those words.
Oh, Harry.